What is up? Here with a new learning character video. Today we're going over Gill, the newest character in the game, Urian's brother. So we're gonna see some similar moves to Urian, and I've been playing this character a lot. Just first of all to figure out if he's a good character. Second of all to see if he's something for me. And to answer quickly, I think this character is very fun to play. Very fun to play. I still need a lot of matchup experience before I can say anything about how good he is. But so far, this character has two things. Well, technically three things Urian doesn't have. Urian has some stuff that makes him really good too this season. But Gill has three things that I really love about him that I haven't had chance to use ever with Urian. And that is 1, a free framer, 2, a usable V reversal, and 3, a comeback V trigger that is 2 bars. His V-triggers aren't as powerful as Aegis Reflector. They're pretty powerful, but they're also like... they're harder to get started. And it's not like Urian where you press the button and you put your opponent into a 50-50 for the game for no meter or maybe 1 bar. Stuff like that. He is a very technical character. Like Urian, he's a very technical character. He's technical in another way. He's very unique to this game. And I think that's partially why I like him. He is very rewarding to play, and he plays in a very different way than a lot of the fighting game characters that is in the game right now. So, with that said, I still don't know how good he is. To me, he seems like a character that could be very strong. But I don't think he is a perfect, like, he doesn't scream top tier. He just screams, I can win matchups with this character I couldn't win with Urian. It's more that I'm thinking. So with that out of the way, through this video, we're going to go through a bunch of different things. First, we're going to talk about his buttons. Then we're going to talk about combos. Then we're going to talk about setups, meaties, frame traps, that kind of stuff. Then we're going to talk about his Vskills. Then we're going to talk about his Vtrigger. And then we're going to end with like me talking about, you know, how I like to play him. Which I like to play him a lot like I play Urian. Like, to me, this character feels a lot like a Season 2 Urian. This character feels a lot like Season 2 Urian to me. In a lot of ways. Which is very nice. I like that a lot. And with that, let's just go into talking about his buttons. So, here we have Gill. Gill... he's a tall boy. We're gonna talk about his heavy buttons and like the flames and the ice that comes out a little later. But let's just start from the top. His light punch, all his lights, but like his light punch, 4-framer, good range. It kind of reminds me of Urian's crouch jab. It has insanely good range. Stand light kick, also a 4-framer if I remember right. Again, insanely good button. Like these two buttons are really good, as you're gonna see by the frame rates I'm putting on the screen. That like they are very reliable 4-framers. He has a 3-framer in his crouch jab, and he has a I can't remember how fast his stand light kick is. It's fast, but just the range of it kind of gives me Rashid stand light kick vibes. Like, it has a lot of range, this move. So like his lights are good. Like they can combo into each other. They are dependable. It's not like when I do lights with Sagat, where it feels like Sagat's, again, it feels like, you know, his 3-framer feels a lot worse than Gill's 3-framer feels usable. He has a cross up on his jump light kick. His jump light punch is kind of haven't really used it for anything yet. His jump, just talking about it right now, it's very floaty, as you can see. It's very weird. And his jump-in buttons, as we're going to see, have a very weird hitbox. It's not much his jump. Actually, his jump is faster than Urian's. It's just more his hitbox on his jump-ins are very weird. But we'll talk more about that later. Then we have his medium buttons. He has a 7-framer and stand medium punch. It looks a lot like Urian's stand medium punch, and it has also some of the same use cases as his stand medium punch. His stand light kick, stand medium kick. Again, it's a good poke button. It's kind of what we see with most characters. Like, it's the same as Urian's stand medium kick. It's the same as Sagat's stand medium kick. Like, good long range poke button, but that's all it is. We have his crouch medium punch, and don't be fooled by this button. This button, even though it looks the same as Urian's, even though it basically have the same frame data as Urian's crouch medium punch, this is not Urian's crouch medium punch, and it is one of the hardest things I've had to get used to coming from Urian to Gill, how this button works. First of all, it's -2 on block. Second of all, Urian's stand medium punch has a lot of combo crouch medium punch has a lot of combo potential. I'm just gonna show this now. Like if you got a crouch medium punch if you got crouch medium punch counter hit, you would link that into crouch hard punch. You can't do that with Gill. I'm pretty sure it doesn't even counter hit into itself. It's very different in that regard. Like Urian, you would kind of just put this button out, and you'd kind of almost always get a knockdown if it hits. And on block it's 0, so you weren't too scared of pressing it. This button, you have to like combo it into lights, and I'm not even sure if like, yeah, that doesn't even combo. So it's not the same button. Even though it looks like it, this is not the same button as Urian's crouch medium punch. It is a lot worse version than Urian's crouch medium punch. And that has taken me some time to get used to coming from Urian. But it's also fair because Urian is a character that has to be in crouching state a lot more often. You're holding charge, stuff like that. So he has to rely more on this button. Whereas Gill, all his special moves are motions. They aren't charge. So his lariat, his knee, all of it is motion-based instead of charge-based. So it makes sense that his crouch medium punch isn't as good as Urian's crouch medium punch, because that button is also, it's a really good button, crouch medium punch. So that's something to take into mind. He has a crouch medium kick, and unlike Urian's crouch medium kick, I'm gonna be comparing him a lot to Urian. Just know that, like, this guy has, it's like kind of like a resemblance between Ryu and Ken. It's kind of what we have here with Gill and Urian. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of comparison to Urian. Just know that. But anyway, crouch medium punch, crouch medium kick. Sorry. Unlike Urian's, it's cancelable. You can cancel it into his special moves. He actually got a crouch medium kick into fireball, and we're gonna be using that a lot later on as I'm showing Vtrigger combos and stuff like that. So this button, very, very good in my opinion. Long range crouch medium kick. I'm pretty sure it's longer range than like Ryu's and Sagat and Ken's and the Shoto's. Good whiff punish. I'm pretty sure this hits like max range. This will always combo. So very good whiff punish button. Excellent whiff punish button. Then we come to his heavy attacks. Oh, and his jump medium punch and jump light kick, they aren't really... I haven't really seen us place to use them. I just saw that. This is a bit out of, like, I haven't really thought of this before, but his jump medium kick. Like Urian's, usually I would jump back medium punch to avoid Vega, Barcelona attacks and stuff like that. That kind of annoyance attack. It seems like Gill's jump medium kick is kind of like the same use case from just when I look at the move. Anyway, moving on to his heavies. As you can see, they all have this ice or fire effect on them. And that's because Gill doesn't have any cross counter moves. Gill has a special retribution system. When we get into combos and meaties and stuff like that, we're gonna talk more about it. But just notice as I'm going through these buttons, which ones are fire and which ones are ice. As I get invited to play in lobbies, I don't know if you guys can see that. So let's start from top. Stand hard punch. This button is gonna be a problem. This button isn't being used a lot right now, but this button is really good. It's -2 on block, and on hit, it combos into crouch medium punch. And in my opinion, it is a very hit confirmable button. very, very easy to hit confirm. So you can, because of it being a stand hard punch, it has very good priority, easy hit confirm, and it's -2, so it's safe to use. It's hard, it's dangerous to whiff it. It has a lot of recovery frames, so you need to be kind of in range of it to use it. But in my opinion, very strong button to use in neutral. Then we have his stand hard kick. Also a very good poke button. Very good, very, very good poke button. Good range, good poke, very annoying to get around, but just to notice, you can crouch under it. So yeah, it's more for when you play against people that really likes to walk forward and approach to get them off. It's a good button, but it's definitely like can be crouched and like whiff punished. Then we have his let's go his crouch first. So he has his crouch hard punch, which looks a lot like Urian's crouch hard punch. It is faster than Urian's crouch hard punch. It has the same amount of active frames, and I think it's a bit less recovery too. So it's in all in all, like the hitbox on it is a bit worse than Urian's crouch hard punch. So it's harder to anti-air with it. It will trade more often, in my opinion, than Urian's crouch hard punch. But I think it's more of a thing you have to get used to. But all in all, it's a good button. I kind of feel like sometimes you can use this button in neutral just to fish. But if your opponent likes to poke out with a lot of new moves, because it has so many active frames, you can just kind of do this, and even though the move is already active, you can actually get a lot of counter hits. It's surprisingly how many active frames this move has. Then we have the crouch hard punch. It's a sweep, and as you can see, and as we talked about before, it's a sweep that doesn't have cross counter. He is the only character in the game that doesn't have a cross counter sweep. He doesn't have not a single cross counter button. But we get into more how we can actually use this to our advantage with the retribution system. So that's his normals there. Then he has his jump hard punch and jump hard kick. Again, they all both have an fire and ice effect. His jumping buttons work better from longer range. Like, he is definitely one where you need to jump in from longer range. His jump hard punch, also there's a lot of like space below his body where it's easy to anti-air. Like, he doesn't have a really good jumping button that has like a very downwards hitbox, if you know what I mean. So he's better to jump in with from longer ranges, especially because also his cross up is kind of meh. So jumping in up close, I don't think will be the best for him. Then we have his special normals. He has a this is an overhead. This is his only overhead. Forward hard punch. It's an overhead. He has a back hard kick. This, as it looks, is a really good anti-air move. This is his, in my opinion, this is his main anti-air. This is also, like, even though I said it wasn't as good as Urian's, this is also an excellent anti-air move. His stand light punch, also a good anti-air. I can't really get it to work, but I see a lot of Gills make it work. So, yeah. It can be used. I'm just not good at it because I'm not good at anti-airing with lights. So that's like his free anti-airs, just to also talk about that. Then we have the last, his step kick. Kind of like Urian's step kick. This move, in my opinion, is better than Urian's step kick. Just because it's easier to combo into. It combos into the jab pretty reliably. It also combos into stand light kick. So like you can, like do small combos like that. -4, but it's kind of worth it. It's good range, and it's also like it has good active frames, so it's a good poke. Like he has really good poke buttons. Okay, let's talk about combos. So Gill has a very interesting combo system, whereas as we talked about with his buttons, they either have an ice or fire effect. And it kind of like makes his combo system very interesting because you can give the opponent these fire ice effect by using like an EX move of a fire ice move. So like Gill has two different versions of all his special moves. So if you do front motion you get fire versions. If you do back motions, you get ice versions. He also has a knee. And just quickly, I don't usually talk about his special moves, but just quickly, his knee is also different from Urian's. Urian's knee is +2 in no matter where you hit the opponent. But Gill's EX knee is actually -2 if you hit them out around the head, and can become plus, and becomes more plus the closer to the shin you are. Oh, I'm still getting used to this. Like it's actually, that was 0 on block. Like that was +1. So like his EX knee is also very different from Urian's. I don't think it can ever be unsafe. It can maximum be -2. But yeah. So as I was saying, he has 2 versions of his special move. He has a fire and an ice version. And you can give your opponent a fire effect or an ice effect. And as you can see here, what I'm doing is I'm hitting, if the opponent has a fire effect on him, I'm hitting him with an ice move, the opposite, and he'll get into this kind of crush counter state. This is why he doesn't have a crush counter system, because Gill can get a crush counter with all his hard normals, depending on if they have fire or ice effect on them. So if we hit them with ice, we get this, and from that we can do combos too. So that's kind of where Gill is a very different character from other characters. But let's just talk about like his bread and butter combos first. He has a light combo, and like you can cross up, jump in with that. He has a medium punch combo, also very easy to use. And like his combo system is kind of basic, to be honest. It's actually really, really basic. Even though it has this very special effect to it, it only really comes into effect when you are starting to like have Vtrigger on. So like he has almost all like the kind of Urian combos, you know, like he has like stuff like that. But if we start adding meter to it, like his 1 bar meter bread and butter combo would be something like this. Something like that. You need to hit him when he's a bit lower. Damn it. To get the optimal. Okay, let's talk about combos. So, Gill has a very interesting combo system. Let's say it like that. But before we get into that, let's just take all the normal stuff first. So, Gill actually has a lot of straightforward combos, to be honest. If you're not using meter and you aren't in Vtrigger, his combos are very straightforward. So, he has a light combo like this. You can also use ice version. And we'll talk about why he has 2 different versions of the same move a bit later. This also works into cross-up. We also have like, he also has the basic combo like Urian, like stand medium punch into medium tackle. Again, also works for both. And like you can jump in if you are at the right range. So very, very, very basic stuff. He even has the crouch hard punch into fireball lariat. So he has some very basic combos, to be honest. Like, there's not a lot to his combo system if you don't use meter. That is kind of the extent of his combo system, I want to say. This is like his bread and butter. Those 3 is like bread and butter starter combos to use with Gill. He has, like, you can also do stand light kick if you don't want to use stand medium punch for whatever reason. His light kick is also very good, but you lose out on damage using the lights. But yeah. Combo system, very, very basic. And also, like as I showed before, this is also a very decent combo. So that's kind of like the basic of his combo system. Oh, and if your opponent decides to, let's say your opponent wakes up with DP. Let's say your opponent wakes up with a DP, right? This is your go-to DP point. Since he doesn't have a cross counter, remember this. So what you do this into this. Something like that. That's a basic DP punish, okay? But his combo system becomes more complex as you start to add both Vtrigger and Meter into the mix. So as you saw, he has a fire and an ice version of all his moves, and all his fire moves are the forward direction, and all his ice moves are backwards direction. He also has his EX-knee, and just because I'm a Urian player, I might want to say this. His EX-knee is not the same as Urian's EX-knee. It is not +2 all the time. It depends on where you hit the opponent. Like normal dive kicks, it depends on where you hit the opponent, how plus it's gonna be. So you need to hit them closer to the leg for it to be plus, and it's kind of hard, I'll be honest. Like, I'm still learning how to use this move. But you see, that was +1 because I hit him around the, like, the thigh area up there. But yeah. Anyway, as you were saying, he has a fire and an ice version of his moves. And the way you get, and if you add Meter to the mix, he gets a fire effect on him. If you use a fire move, he gets a fire effect. And then you can do this. If you add an ice move, if you hit him with an ice move when he has a fire effect on him, he goes into what looks like a cross counter state, a cross counter juggle state. And if you hit him with a ice move, he gets ice. And if you hit him with a fire move, he also goes in. So you have to hit them with the opposite of what effect they have on them. So, and the way you give them these effects are either by spending a bar or being in Vtrigger. And then notice, it's important to notice that it depends on what I'm using Vtrigger 1 right now. You guys can't see, but I'm using Vtrigger 1 right now. Vtrigger 1 is his fire Vtrigger. So, he will only get the fire effect. If I hit him with an ice move right now, he will not get an ice effect. If I pick Vtrigger 2, he will only get ice effects when I'm hitting him with ice moves. Just quick notice that. It's important to know. And get into his combo system. Into his Vtrigger combo system. So with this knowledge, like if we use bar, we can get crush counters in the middle of our combos. So his bread and butter 1 bar meter use without any Vtrigger or anything, it looks something like this. So you need to use hard. Or hard makes the combo more reliable. And suddenly, like, we're starting to get more damage, like 279. And that's kind of where, that's like bread and butter if you want the most damage out of that. To be honest, if we're only using bar and we aren't using Vtrigger, the retribution system is a bit, yeah. Like, it's, I can't see, like, there's some use to it because, like, you give them a fire effect. And, like, that makes them tick. And then, like, if you hit them with an ice move, they go into a cross counter state. So, like, this, you can do that. They'll have a fire effect on them. Or they'll have an ice effect. The fire effect at stud, like, if you look, it takes away, takes away HP and makes gray HP, so the next hit will do more damage. Ice stops the stun bar. So, like, the stun bar won't go down. And they can only get this effect away by either waiting it out, or get hit by a fire, move, or what's it called? Or hit you. That's the only way. That's the only way they can get rid of these effects. Basically, is by either hitting you. I'm not even sure if you can actually wait it out, or you hit them. That's just basic of the combo system. You can be very creative with it, but then at the end of the day, I feel like without the Vtrigger, the retribution system becomes kind of like it's not really for creating insane combos without, like, when you're not using Vtrigger, getting insane combo damage out of the retribution system is kind of hard. It's not impossible, but Yeah, I definitely have to do some more lab work. But this is like kind of like your basic bread and butters, and that's what I wanted to show here. It was like basic bread and butters. So let's go into his meaty system. Let's talk meaties, okizeme, frame traps, that kind of stuff. Because Gill's meaty game is kind of bad. It's not very good of his normal combos. Some would even say it's bad. It's just straight up bad. It's you'll get people here to start with, but with time, people will discover how bad it is. And let me just show why. So after let's say a quick get up, he's doing, I believe, yeah, that's a free framer. So if we do this, you get this, and that's all fine and dandy. But and that's all you get. You're +3. So anything faster, you will get hit. But if they do backdash, you kind of have to do that. And that's not really that great. You can't do double dash, that's too slow. So you can't, and you can't really follow that up without anything. Like, so, and this counts for all his combos. Like if you do medium, it's the same thing. You have to be kind of hard committing and just be like, yeet. You can't even do that. It's just straight up. So like his meaty game of his normal are kind of bad just because of this. If they back recover, you don't really get a lot. You have to take huge risks. Like you have to take risk to continue pressure with Gill, which kind of isn't worth it in my opinion. Maybe it depends on your opponent. It depends on how bad your opponent is, how much they know. But with time, more people will know this, and I actually think I'm gonna make a video on this, just because I don't think a lot of people that want to beat Gill is gonna watch an hour. I guess this is gonna be an hour, around an hour's video, just to figure this, just for me to find this. But yeah, so Gill's and it's kind of bad across the board. Like it's the same. It's the same for. It's just kind of bad for that kind of stuff. You have to hope they do quick get up into button, and even if they do, you don't really get that much either. Like you get a decent amount, but not like Urian amount. So this is where the retribution system comes in, because fret not. It's not like Gill doesn't have any. He just have very sparse amount of meaty continuous pressure. The way you get a mix-up okizeme situation for Gill is you use a bar. So we'll do this. Oh, well, we won't do that because that's wrong. But oh my god, why can't I? There we go. Wow, why am I so terrible right now? We'll do that. And then we start to get like more of a Urian kind of vibe. This is very much a this is very much a Urian situation. And it's only mid-screen. It's only mid-screen that we are lacking frame traps and meaties with Gill. And again, like, you just have to be able to see it, but like we get kind of the same thing. So as you can see, when not in the corner, this is how we get, and like it's good corner carry. It's a very good corner carry. So like for one bar, we can mid-screen, a bit over mid-screen, we can get them to the corner. We can basically get them to the corner. And then it doesn't matter. If we are in the corner, our meaties work just fine. As you can see. So it's only mid-screen that like kind of, his meaty game is kind of lacking in that sense. Mid-screen, it becomes a bit hard. But in the corner, his Meaties are really good. So I just talked about Meaties and stuff in how like Gill has like good Meaties when it gets to the corner, but doesn't really have Meaties mid-screen. I just wanted to show this really, really good Meaty he gets from a light combo in the corner. So if they do a quick recovery like this, we can get a Meaty stand light punch, which links into stand medium punch, cross medium punch, and then we can actually get a loop on on a fireball with a bar. So like you can get a lot of damage with Gill Meaties in the corner, and I just wanted to show that. But like, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to show with like Meaties and frametraps and Okaseme. Gill needs meter. Mid-screen, he needs meter to be able to get good Meaty situations. Else, it's kind of fake, all he has. It's not... You can get around it. But with that one bar use to get this Meaty, it is a very scary situation. I messed it up there, but it is a very scary situation that resembles a lot a Urian tackle guess situation. So that's all I wanted to talk about with Meaty. So let's go into his Vskills now. Okay, let's talk about his Vskills. So I don't really have a lot to say about this, but I just wanted to point them out because we're gonna be using them in his Vtrigger section too. Like this guy's Vtriggers, both of them are wild, and I love it. But just like to go over his Vskills. He has Meteor, and it changes depending on his Vtrigger, which is kind of cute. I have Vtrigger 2 on right now. I believe they have the same frames, and I think with Vtrigger on, they are a bit faster. If you can see, like they are a bit faster, and that's also like with Vtrigger. They are also faster. So that's his Vskill 1, and honestly, like, it's not a bad Vskill. Like it's kind of situational in a way, which most Vskills are. But it can actually cover a lot of ground and be really annoying, especially for grappler characters that want to get in. Like, because like you can have a meteor on the screen. Wait, you can't? No, you can't. Okay, I actually thought you could. But this can cover a lot of screen. Like, you can be a very annoying Sona character with this. And as you can see, they also, if they get hit by it, they either get fire or ice effect, depending on which if you have Vtrigger 1 on, it's a fire, so they get fire effect. If it's Vtrigger 2, they get the ice effect. So that's kind of like the Vtrigger, and it can be very frustrating to get around zoning wise, and it counts as a projectile, so it can actually negate projectiles if they hit them on the way down. And let's talk about his Vtrigger 2, his Vskill 2, sorry, which is called blocking, which is it's a parry. It's a good parry in my opinion. Like this gives him a very good way to gain V meter in neutral. Let's say you're playing as the fireball character, you can parry fireballs. You get V meter very fast doing that. And it's a high parry, mid parry, and a low parry. So yeah, but the reward of it being that instead of being one parry is you get to punish a lot of stuff. Like, it works surprisingly well against certain moves, and you can punish stuff you couldn't do with Ryu either. Like, that's a punish right there. And it's just a very fast parry. It's just a like I don't, like, as I said, there's not a lot to these Vskills, but it's worth talking about because like they both help build V meter in a nice way, and the V skill 1, as you'll see soon, also gives some very dirty mix-ups. So V skill 2, I feel like is best used against the fireball characters or characters that like to spam moves that are further away. This spam. They like to use moves that are further away. So like carries -2 shoulder. Ryu fireballs, Nash fireballs, Nash's jump kick, Urian EX knee, stuff like that, where if you parry it, you get either V meter or a big reward in form of a punish. Whereas Vtrigger 1, I feel like is best used when you don't really have a lot to parry, unless you want to be godlike and like try to like read normals and stuff like that. I'd say it was better used like having Vskill 1 just because you can either zone out a grappler character, or you can use it for mix-ups / just more added to your projectile game, fireball game. So that's kind of his Vskills 1, the Vskills in general. And I feel like they both have uses and they both are pretty good Vskills. So it just depends on you and what you want to use. Let me say it like that. Because there's probably going to be people that are asking, like, which Vskill is better? They're both viable. They can both be used. So whichever one you feel most comfortable with. Let's say it like that. And with that, let's go into Vtrigger. And I have a feeling I'm going to be talking a lot in that segment. Okay, let's talk Vtriggers. This is going to be a long segment, I feel like. Because I feel like both Gill's Vtriggers are viable. That's very rare. You see that 2 weeks into a character's development that there's still tech being found, and both Vtriggers feel like they can be used, which is very funny and very cool in my opinion. And it really feels like there's just two different playstyles with Gill when you have Vtrigger. Gill's Vtrigger 1 is more of a combo Vtrigger, so to say, where you do a lot of damage into a guess into death, where the guess is not as tricky, whereas Gill's Vtrigger 2 is more of a setup Vtrigger, where you get ahead and then you do a setup, and that setup will kill them, basically. That's how the two Vtriggers work at the moment. I've been using mostly Vtrigger 2. Not as much Vtrigger 1. I've done some Vtrigger 1. I don't know which one is better. It's all preference, I think, right now. Some of me want to say Vtrigger 1 is better just because less risk, a lot of reward, whereas Vtrigger 2 has more risk, but it also has more reward in a way than Vtrigger 1. It's weird. I don't really know. But let's just go over how. So Gill, as we kind of been, I think I've been talking about it a bit, but Gill is very meter dependent. He needs his meter for getting good Okasemi, knockdown out of the combos. He also needs it to start his Vtrigger combos. Gill's party starter, as you would call it, is an EX Fireball. I completely messed it up there. But usually you'll see a Gill start his mix-up with this, and then dash forward, and then that's how it started. If it's like this, if it's like this, doesn't matter. Usually how you start your Vtrigger pressure with Gill is by EX Fireball. And I mean EX Fireball, not EX Ice Ball. I mean EX Fireball, because if you do Ice Ball, it won't combo. EX Ice Ball is too slow. So EX Fireball. And from there, it's just kind of, you take the opponent on a ride of mix-ups and a lot of damage. So let's start with Vtrigger 1. It is not the one I've been using, but I can some stuff with it. So like, this Vtrigger does damage. It does a lot of damage. So a common Vtrigger 1 combo so far with Gill is... Actually, let me just, like, before we go into this, let me just show how the Vtrigger actually works. So, like, this is how it works. He does this motion, and if you press again, he does a comment. Usually, you'll see people combo into it from this. And the reason this is good is because he's still waking up with, The reason this is good is because it combos into forward hard kick. So forward hard kick, activation. And usually you'll get like a knockdown where you can dash forward and you'll get a meaty into market damage. So like that's how it usually goes. So a common combo would be as you can see, dead if I did that ending correctly. So but you can see a lot of damage into a combo into stun. Like one guess stun, then kill combo. It is very damaging. It is very good. So that's just one combo. That is just like, I think that's the most basic combo you can do with the character. Another combo is, if we do the same starter, how is it that is? Another combo is this one. Ah, damn it. The best is to use, you need to use medium punch fireball for this. So, I did it again. That is that's a Urian habit right there. That's a Urian habit. And again, you get set up. As you can see, very strong. Very, very strong. So that's like 2 basic combos you can use with Gill into, like, it is a powerful situation you put your opponent in there. He also has a mix-up that just got discovered by Sonic Fox. He did it on Punk, I think. That was some Twitter video about it. I'll see if I can do it. If I remember right, I think I can do it. Pretty sure that's it. What am I doing wrong? Something like that. I think that's how it goes. And if you time it correctly, the light jab won't hit you. And they kind of have to guess what side Gill is on in the air as the meteor is hitting them. Plus, you can either go for a cross up or empty jump. So it's kind of dirty. So like, let me just do it again from the start. So, pretty damn dirty if you ask me. But that's all I got with Vtrigger 1 so far. That's all I know about Vtrigger 1 so far. It's just a very good combo Vtrigger that gives you some very good situations. Oh, one last thing, before I forget. So, a thing you also can do with this, it also gives you, like, as I say, better knockdown situations. As you have seen with, like, this. You see me dash up and it gives, like, a good knockdown situation. Which means when you have it activated, if you don't get the combo for whatever reason, you get just a better knockdown situation. So like you can combo it into pretty much any medium. So like that's a combo. That's a combo. Which means that we can do stuff like this. And let's say we're playing neutral. I have it on for whatever reason, and I get this hit. And he's stunned and he's dead. Just to show you the power of this Vtrigger. It's strong. It's a strong Vtrigger. Okay, let's move on to Vtrigger 2 now. Vtrigger 2 you get some other stuff with. You get this move and this move. And this move can either be, I think it could be, yeah, it can be close. Or it can be far. Oh. Come on. Because there's one on the screen. Or but be far away. Like that. And this Vtrigger is, it's a dirty mix-up Vtrigger, basically. Very dirty mix-up Vtrigger. I think the first setup that was shown was this one. So this is basically all the setup Vtrigger. You don't really get a lot of combo from it. It's mostly just like really dirty setups. So this is a very dirty setup. It is distance dependent, just so you guys know, to get it completely right. So you need to like get some distance for it to work correctly. if you're in their face and you're doing this into EX Fireball, it won't work. It won't work as well. But if you're a bit further away, you can do this. This is that he needs to block on the other side. It looks like he doesn't need to, but he needs to. You can go into training mode and test out yourself. And he's one hit away from stun. And if he gets stunned, like that, he's dead. Basically. So that's like the most... That's the most basic setup people have been finding right now. So that hits on... let's say you are the Rio right now. You're the Rio player. If you want to block that, you have to block this way. You have to hold the stick this way, so... to block. Right? So the dirty part comes in... If you do this, you can't see this with your... I was about to say naked eye. If you just do a jump over, he has to block this way. The right way. And trust me, even though you know it, because I've been doing some sets with Gill mirrors, even though you know and you see it's a normal jump and not the knee jump, you instinctively press, you start blocking this way. Because it's a cross-up. He's jumping cross-up. You have to block the cross-up. So the amount of people you hit just by jumping over is stupid. It's stupid. But it works so well. There is some downsides to this V-trigger. To this setup specifically. And that is basically like you can like... If you go into... People will say you can backdash and stuff like that. But like there's no silver bullet. You will get hit. There's ways to get around stuff. I could almost make a video just on that one setup. That is 10-minute video and just on that one setup. If you guys really want me to cover it, leave a comment below saying, hey, cover this setup and show me all the options. But for now, I kind of want to leave things a bit open for you guys. So you guys can go into training mode and play with it yourself. I'm showing you the tools. You guys can figure out how to make use of them the most. But trust me, you'll get a lot of wins, a lot of rounds just doing that setup. Another setup he has is it's a bit more sneaky and it doesn't give as much reward, but it's good and it's variety. Variety is always good. It's the spice of life. So that's +5. So like again, a lot of damage, a lot of corner carry. And it works on both wake-ups. I'm only doing normal recovery, but like it works on all wake-ups. There we go. Stuff like that. Also, pretty damn dirty. That's some of the setups that has been shown with Vtrigger 2. So that was 2 setups in mid-screen with Vtrigger 2. Let me show you one in the corner I've been working on a bit myself. So I didn't invent the first part of this with the side switch, but the second part with the meteor I'm gonna show I did. So let's just first show off the setup. So again, we do this, then we walk a bit forward, stand hard kick, and we get a side switch that is that combos if you get the meaty right. Stand light kick, meaty, combos into the cross out punch. So that's like one side, you can do stuff like that. The other side you can, and this is what I've been working on. So you can do stuff like that. So very, very mean, and you can optimize that. So like trade combos. Stuff like that. Very, very mean stuff. So like that's one for the corner with Vtrigger 2. And I think that's all I want to show you guys with Vtrigger. Go experiment with it yourself. Find the Vtrigger you find funny. I think both of them are very viable. I will say if you're starting out with Gill, and you're not very confident in setups and like doing these kind of like, you know, setup things and stuff like that, Vtrigger 1 is the one I feel like is the easiest to like, because it's just like you're practicing some new combos into a very familiar setting where you do the combo, you dash up, guess for the game. Whereas like if you're not that confident in setups, like, you know, doing all this with like, you know, dashing forward, overhead into, you know, timing the ice traps and stuff like that. It's all basically auto timing, so it's not that difficult, but it's basically, yeah, it's just a bit different. But both V-triggers are very viable, I would say. I would say V-trigger 1 is more beginner friendly, I would say, but you can get more reward by being a scumbag with V-trigger 2. Okay, and here to end it on, I just want to talk a bit strategy. If you are completely new to my videos, if you tuned in randomly to my videos, and you don't really know me, I'm gonna try to elaborate it in a way so you also can follow along. But basically, I feel like I feel like Gill, man, I've done that a lot this video, haven't I? I feel like Gill can be very much played like Urian. I would play Urian in Season 2. I feel like he's best played a bit slower, where fireballs are used, but not really to poke, or not really to like, not really to poke or to do damage, but more as a tool to make them jump. Because Gill as Urian gets a lot of damage off anti-airs. Like, let's say he jumps, like he jumps over your fireball, and it's a forward jump. You can do into a setup now, and like that's already one. What was that? 1/3 of his HP away. And it works the same for. Man. But yeah, you get it. So he has some so that's like part of his game plan in my opinion. Like his fireballs are good, but it's mostly to make the opponent jump to use them. Besides that, just very good normals. Use his very good normals to annoy with. You won't really get a lot of like Okaseme unless you get Bar, but you can use them to like kind of poke him down. And then at some point you're gonna get V-trigger 2. You're gonna get one of the V-triggers. It's only a 2-bar. And then it's just time to party. And then it's guess for the game. And if they guess wrong, they're dead. So like, Gill very much is like, you know, a poke character where like he can end it quickly if the person guesses wrong on his normal knockdown situations, but basically just playing to take as much damage away, to deal as much damage as you can to the opponent, and trying to survive until you get the V-trigger. And when you get the V-trigger, you'll try to get a good activations so you can kill him. At least that's V-trigger 2. V-trigger 1, you're a bit more relaxed, because even if you don't get like a hit confirm like that into startup, you still have the V-trigger on, and like just having it makes it so you can makes it so you can like do stuff. So like as I've shown before, like this, like that's 300 damage of that alone into a guess situation. So like basically do as much poking damage and do as much damage as possible, but it's not like you are on the clock. Most of the time I feel like most opponents will feel like they are on the clock. They are playing a character that they know when he gets V-trigger they have to be scared of, like Urian. They're playing against a character where your job is to stay alive, don't get into too bad of a situation, because if Gill gets knocked down, He doesn't have a EX headbutt. He has a parry as most. So you have to block and guess. So you kind of have to stay on your feet, try to get us in as little knockdown situations as possible where you are the one knocked down, and just get your V-trigger. And then kill for the V-trigger. Very basic, but it works. If you kill them before you get your V-trigger, that's just a bonus, but yeah. And be resourceful with your meter. That's the one thing Gill has different than Urien. Urien, you would kind of be resourceful with your meter because you always wanted kind of one bar of to do an EX headbutt, so they respected your wake up more. This, you need the bar to more start your own mix-ups, start your own Okizeme. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Thank you so much if you watched this full video. This is going to be a long one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. And subscribe if you will. I don't really care too much about it. I do. It's kind of like, you know, like it's just like you want to reach a milestone. It's not really for anything specific. It is just, you know, it would be nice to hit 1,000 subscribers. That's just kind of my goal right now with YouTube, is try to get 1,000 subscribers. That would be really cool. But yeah, if you want to help me with that, I'll be sure to try to make more good content you want to watch. But that's it. That's all. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys learned something. Have a great day. And I hate to time my videos, but also get safely into the new year. I'm losing my voice. I've been talking for a long time now. Get safely into the new year. Stay safe. Stay happy. See ya.